There are wounds the mind forgets, but the body remembers. Every unfinished reaction, the anger swallowed, the cry restrained, becomes stored energy. Alexander Lowen called it muscular armor, a layer of chronic tension that once protected us from feeling too much. And now, decades later, neuroscience confirms when we suppress emotion, the amygdala fires, but action is inhibited. The survival energy stays inside the body, trapped in muscle tone, breath pattern, and posture. Over years, that energy shapes the very way we stand in the world. The question is, how does this armor form, and how can it be released? The nervous system learns by repetition. If love feels conditional, the body learns to contract before reaching out. If expression leads to shame, the diaphragm tightens before we even speak. What we repeat, the nervous system remembers. That's neuroplasticity. Every act of bracing strengthens motor patterns along the corticospinal tract, rewiring muscles to anticipate threat. Eventually, defense becomes identity. Lowen observed 5 main armor segments: eyes, mouth, neck, chest, diaphragm, pelvis, each guarding a cluster of emotions. For example, a tight jaw protects unspoken rage, a collapsed chest protects grief, a frozen pelvis hides forbidden pleasure. The psyche and soma are one system of memory, constantly mirroring each other. What remains unspoken in the body soon becomes unseen in the mind. And this brings us to Jung's idea of the shadow. Carl Jung described the shadow as everything the ego refuses to see. But repression isn't only psychological, it's physiological. What the mind rejects, the body absorbs. Neuroimaging shows that emotional suppression activates the insular and anterior cingulate cortex, regions that translate feelings into bodily sensations. When emotions are blocked, those signals loop without resolution, producing chronic muscle tone, headaches, or gut distress. So the shadow isn't an abstract darkness. It is literally in the tissues, encoded in breath and posture. When we understand that, we begin to see the cost of carrying protection for too long. Armor kept us safe once, but safety bought with tension becomes captivity. Physiologically, this constant contraction keeps the sympathetic branch half-activated, prevents connection, heart rate elevated, breath shallow, digestion impaired. Physiologically, this constant tension keeps the sympathetic branch half-activated, heart rate elevated, breath shallow, digestion impaired. The body lives as if danger never ended. The body lives as if danger never ended. Emotionally, armor numbs both extremes. We lose not only fear, but joy. That's why many high-functioning adults describe themselves as fine. Fine is the absence of felt life. Healing begins when safety becomes stronger than protection, and that safety starts with awareness of the body itself. Let's experience it for a moment. Notice your jaw. Unclench it. Now breathe in slowly through the nose for 4 counts, and exhale twice as long. That extended exhale stimulates the vagus nerve, the main highway of the parasympathetic system. It signals the brainstem. The threat has passed. Heart rate slows, cortisol begins to fall. This is how presence melts armor, not by effort, but by feedback. When we return from the breath, we can feel more clearly how awareness transforms defense into flow. Jung wrote, One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Each time we bring awareness to a tense muscle without judgment, the limbic system updates its prediction. Safety exists here now. Somatic therapists call this completing the loop, allowing the energy once trapped in defense to move into flow. A tremor, a tear, a sigh. These are not breakdowns, they're biological discharge. As the body releases, the psyche regains access to vitality, creativity, sexuality. What was armor becomes strength, and strength, when softened by awareness, becomes freedom. Take a moment later today to write down 3 places in your body that often feel tight or heavy. Next to each, note the emotion you least express in daily life. The correspondence may surprise you. Healing isn't mystical. It's the slow reunion of sensation and meaning. When the body is allowed to feel what the mind once forbade, the shadow turns into light, not through transcendence, but through contact. Armor dissolves in honesty, and beneath it, you will find not weakness, but the natural rhythm of life itself.